Yes, Yoxheimer. This is another edition of The Spectre, my online web blog, YouTube, web series, whatever the fuck the kids are calling it these days. I don't give a shit. Just doing a little tribute in memoriam to Adam West, the late Adam West. He just died Friday night. Apparently had a long battle with leukemia, and he was 88 years old. But he did make it to a ripe old age, so it's not really tragic. He did have a full life, because who the fuck wants to live past even 80? So when you think about it. But he played, as everybody knows, 1960s TV's Batman. It's what he was always known for. And, as much as that might have been somewhat of a curse to his career, it did, sort of also, perpetuate it in a lot of ways, too. And he was I think a contract actor, or I don't know, for Warner Brothers or somebody in the 60s. He was in a lot of cowboy shows and TV dramas and things like that, like a lot of actors back then. And and they weren't making, like all the money that you think that actors make, that some of them might make now on television and stuff like that. It's like the cast of Friends or something. But he played this character on this TV series that, even though it went off the air, it never left. It was on when I was a kid in the early 80s, and it used to be on in syndication and watched it after school, and it was just what we just waited to watch Batman. A lot of me and friends and kids our age in school, went home, because there was always, they always got in some jam. They were getting they were gonna, I don't know, there would always be dangling above like some giant cake that was gonna suffocate him or some crazy thing, They would always make up villains on the 1960s series that probably weren't even in the comics, like the Cake Master, or the Baker, I guess it would be. But I don't know. I think there was an episode where one of them was was sinking into a cake. It might have been Robin. I think Batman had to rescue him, but it was like the most ridiculous, it's stuff they don't do in the movies, obviously. And they certainly don't do in like the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. But it was always, he would show up and stuff, and Robin's tied up, and he's sinking into a giant cake, and then, he goes, "Oh, chum," and then he would have to go figure out some way to get Robin out of that damn cake. And it was more like they were always in it. I mean, they would be fighting crime, but they weren't like Batman in the comic would fight crime in the streets, kind of, he'd be on top of rooftops and, taking care of thugs and some street criminals too, as well as the big villain, the main villains like the Joker or the Penguin or Catwoman or something. But in the TV series, they were always stuck in some just some stupid thing, like they'd be just whatever, they're about to get dipped into a vat of acid or crushed by a giant iron, or whatever you can think of, and that was sort of the part of the hallmark of the old Batman series. But in any case, that is part of the legacy that Adam West left us, and not to mention he's on one of my favorite shows, Family Guy. He played himself as the mayor of Quahog, so that TV series will also be experiencing and the fans of that show will be experiencing the loss of Adam West and his contribution to that series. And he was always funny, and anytime he was on a talk show, or I heard him on some radio show or something like that, he's just charming and funny and genuine, and I think that is what we should all remember when we think of Adam West. This has been D.S. Yoxheimer, and this has been another episode of The Spectre.